He's behind you.
Such fun, eh? But first I'm going to be talking to a couple of guys who'll be very familiar to you regular Night Network viewers and who made an announcement last week that is sure to rock the music world in the new year. In case you need more clues, take a look at this.
Here we come, walking down the street. We get the funniest loves from everyone we meet. Hey, hey, we're a monkey, and people say we monkey around. But we're too busy singing to put anybody down. We're just trying to be friendly. I want to watch sing and play. We're the young generation, and we got something to say. Hey, we're the monkeys. You never know where we'll be found. So you better get ready. We're maybe coming to your town.
Yes, and please welcome to Night Network Davy Jones and Micky Dolenz.
We were so young.
But the big news, the big news is you're back. You're going to be touring again.
Touring England in March and April, yeah. We're looking forward to it. We were in America last year and the year before. Been to Australia, Canada. So things are looking good for the Monkeys.
It must be good because when this started, when Night Network started, and we put the Monkeys out, it was always one of the biggest things about the evening's shows. You
No
put
account
right
for
in.
taste, is there?
But is that one of the reasons why you decided?
You got here.
Is it one of the reasons why you decided to kind of come to the UK? Because obviously in America the tour was just an amazing success.
Well, back in '68, we were the first band ever to go to Wembley. We were there 5 nights in a row, and it was quite a thing for me coming from England to be able to play in my home country. Micky's obviously American, and we went all over America with the Monkeys. England was one of the places the show showed, and hopefully the fans will come out to see us this March in April.
Right, it's gonna be, and you'll be doing the Royal Albert Hall in London, but all over the UK as well.
Yeah, from Portsmouth.
We're bringing the Royal Albert Hall.
Oh, you're taking it all
First
around
time
with you?
it's ever happened.
First time a band's
Taking the
taken
whole
it
thing
around.
and
We're
moving
going
it
to
around.
Scotland too. That's going to be
Brilliant.
nice to go up there, yeah.
So obviously you'll be doing all the, the old favourites.
I'm a believer, daydream believer,
Everything.
Last Train to Clarksville, a little bit me, a little
In their entirety. No medley.
And what about new stuff? Do you
A
kind
little
of
new
think
stuff,
about
yeah.
doing some new bits?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We just did an album, recorded an album last year in the States, and a couple of new tunes will be on that. Peter wrote a couple, Davy wrote a couple.
I think basically, I mean, the show that we're doing in March and April will mostly be the old numbers, because I think that's what people are wanting to see. They want to see the Monkeys as they were. They want to hear the tunes that they, are familiar with. And so we kind of stick to that. We do about an hour and a half show, and we have about 30 tunes that we sing. And we sing them all. We sing it all the way through, as he says. No medleys.
Right, yeah, let's do a few of the hits.
Yeah, a few of the hits, yeah.
How many hits did you actually have? What was it, between, 67? That was like the big year, wasn't it?
9 or 7, I don't know. 8 or 10.
Yeah, we had hits all over the world. So, if it was #1 in England, it was #1 in Australia or Japan or in America. So we had, I think we had about 8 or 9 albums, and we had 10 or 12 singles that went into the top 10. But we weren't counting that. We were just counting the money.
Right, why not? But, right, so now when...
Wasn't difficult.
Who decided...
I got 2!
Who decided then to do this big tour in America the other year? Was it kind of, did you approach someone, or did someone say, hey, how about bringing the
We've been
back
asked a
together
number
again?
of times by a number of different people. And finally one guy got it together. And of course...
He had all our phone numbers, that was the thing.
Yeah, it's true. And it was also the fact that the show went on MTV, the American equivalent of Night Network, and did incredibly well, as it's done here. And so there was a demand. A whole new generation of kids suddenly went, whoa, And so the demand was there, and we filled it.
It was also the 20-year anniversary of the Monkeys, 1986. That's 20 years from when we first started. Well, the way I count, anyway. But it was really a lot of people came out, from the mums and dads to the kids, the second and third sort of like viewers that watched it rerun. So hopefully this tour will bring out the mums and dads that have not been to concerts for a few years. And, the original Monkeys. Take the last train to Clarksville.
That's us in 20 years from now. Where they are again.
Why is Mike Nesmith not part of this?
Well, the new album's called Hear No, See No, and Speak No, and there was no room for him, so
Oh, right.
he was out. He forgot the tune. He forgot how to play them, and he also lost his wool hat, so we didn't ask him to come on the road.
And was there any kind of, you know, animosity there somewhere?
No, he's just not in the business of entertaining anymore as such.
Right.
He doesn't do that. He runs a big company, executive type.
But you two are busy, aren't you? I mean, you're directing the things, and you've been in a very successful American series, haven't you?
I work in America. I just finished playing the part of Fagin in Oliver, which was at the Kansas City
Faggot.
No, not Faggot. Fagin.
I wondered when you told me originally.
No. Well, see, Mickey, you can't. You know, as you're. By the way, I love your dress. It's very nice.
I must admit, I don't often, as you know, put this kind of
I saw your string fellows in that.
Oh, yes, you did. Now, as far as the monkeys, Mickey's the one that usually wears the dress, and that will be something that you'll all be able to look forward to on our upcoming tour in March and April.
One Ugly Sister.
He plays One Ugly Sister. He does a couple of numbers in this particular dress, and we have fun. We dress up. We have costume changes. As I say, we sing all those tunes that you're familiar with, and we have a good old time. So, you know, anyone wants to see a good old variety show in March and April, come and see us.
And will you be doing, like, I know when you see the TV shows, there are a lot of sketches. Do you do any of that, incorporate
Not as much, because it doesn't work live as well as it does on television. But we do talk, we say things.
Yeah, we can string sentences
And we
together.
chew gum and belch at the same time.
Yes,
It's
we
amazing.
do. The thing is, our show is music, and we do comedy, obviously. We don't actually sit down in a setting where we've got scripted stuff, but we do improvise. We are playing, as Mickey says, the Albert Hall, and we're playing places that seat maybe 2,000, 3,000 people. So there is a bit more contact between the audience. When you get any bigger than that, you lose the dialogue and you lose all the bits and pieces. But I haven't lost any more bits and pieces.
That's a bit lucky, isn't it? What about Christmas then? Because, we're 2 days away now from the big day. What are you going to be up to on Sunday?
Family?
Yeah.
A lot of family, a lot of daughters. I got 3 here, and Davy has
I have 2 and 2 in America.
What do your kids' mates think when they obviously, perhaps if they watch Night Network, they see the monkeys on the telly and they say, yeah, that's your dad?
Yeah, my little girl said once, she was looking at the TV, and I said, who's that then? She said, that's my other daddy.
My 20-year-old said to me last year, a couple of years ago, when it first happened in the States, Daddy, all my friends want to meet you.
It's real interesting, you know, the kids, they see the monkeys, the kids, you know, at school, obviously, they know that the kids are, you know, related, we're all related, but there's no big deal for them. They've seen us in other things, and the monkeys is just another one of the things that we do, so...
You're related to your kids?
Yeah, I am.
I'm not sure.
Very closely.
Why do you think then, before you shoot off into the Night Network Night Air, why do you think the monkeys are still popular today as they were 20 years ago?
No accounting for taste.
Is it because it was fun and it was good, clean kind of,
I think so, yeah, and I think kids still like fairy tales and stories that make no sense, and the monkeys was just a collage of all kinds of things happening, and it's nothing that you have to sit down and sort of get the gist of the story. You just go from one thing to another. I think it catches their eye still 20 years later. The kids are
songs also, written by some pretty heavy-duty songwriters like Neil Diamond and Carole King, Neil Sedaka, Harry Nilsson. They wrote almost all the tunes, so they stand up. The show stands up because it was well written. It was really well constructed.
Harry doesn't stand up.
No, it's true. It was well constructed, the show. If you analyze it, if you do analyze it, it was well constructed, like good comedy, like Marx Brothers or Laurel and Hardy or I Love Lucy or something like that. So it stands up for that reason. The combination of all that. I'd like to think we had something to do with it too.
Brilliant.
And there it is.
Well, you catch it right here on Night Network. Thanks very much for coming. Any chance for a quick little number before you leave? We did last time you came in, a little song.
Oh, what we got?
Here we go, walking down the street.
How about a nice song from you? You know, something sort of like in the Sopranos.
Maybe have a bit of this done here.
I think it's on that note that we say thank you very much, thanks. And we hope you can stick around for a while to catch Richard Cole's version of Cinderella. Have you seen Richard Cole's version of Cinderella? Oh.
Housemaid's knee. Oh, my love. Oh.
Was that it?
That was a short version.
God, blimey. Right, it's Christmas as well. I thought I might have had a bit more than that. Just before I introduce you to my next guest, a bit of video news. Check out Baby Boom and A Month in the Country.